Good afternoon, Sierra Leone. Good afternoon, Kona District. Good afternoon to all the Salon picking the wedding at the diaspora, the Kona picking the wedding at the diaspora, and on our way back home na Sierra Leone. This na David Bongo the Cantona from Kona News Network, and today we get another very important information for bring Cantona and talk about the drug issues, where they affect the country, both locally and at international level. So we get some points then where we go discuss. And if una get any questions for ask, una go to the comment section, send questions, and any concerns una get, una go back to the comment section and send questions. Again, I want to tell thank you to the one that would already subscribe to this channel. If you're not subscribed it and this is the first time for you listen to me, I'd encourage you for you subscribe. Let una comment and share. Let una be part of the program, and anything we talk now, let una also be part of them. This is an interactive program. Good evening and welcome to Kono News Network. Tonight we discuss one of the most urgent threats facing Sierra Leone today: the growing problem of drugs and drug trafficking. This issue is no longer hidden in dark corners. It is affecting our communities, our youth, our schools, our economy, our security forces, and even the international image of our nation. Drug abuse is destroying lives locally, while international trafficking allegations continue to raise concerns about how Sierra Leone is being perceived abroad. Families are suffering silently, young people are losing their future, criminal networks are taking advantage of poverty, weak enforcement systems, corruption, unemployment, and porous borders. The question before us tonight is not whether drugs are a problem. The evidence is already there and very, very clear. The real question is this: what must Sierra Leone do now to protect its people, preserve its international credibility, and stop the country from becoming a hub for dangerous criminal activity? This discussion is not about blame alone. It is about accountability, solutions, national responsibility, and collective actions. Government, police, communities, parents, religious leaders, schools, civil society, and the youth themselves all have a role to play. Tonight, we seek answers, honesty, and practical solutions for future Sierra Leone. That was my opening statement. Let's discuss. There will be questions that I'm going to ask, and then we will go further. If you have an answer, if you have contributions, you're welcome to bring them into the comment section. So understanding the drug crisis in Sierra Leone will be the first thing for us to look at. The major concerns are the following: increase in drug abuse among young people, rise in dangerous synthetic drugs and narcotics, and then growing criminal gangs linked to drug distribution, drug addiction continuing to robbery or contributing to robbery, violence, mental health problems, and school dropouts. Drugs affecting both urban and rural communities are also a very big concern, and reports of Sierra Leone being used as a transit point for international trafficking. So these are the questions that we need to answer concerning the major concerns I just read. How serious is the drug problem today in Sierra Leone? Which communities are most affected? What type of drugs are common in Sierra Leone, and why are young people increasingly vulnerable? So a question will come to mind: what does government know about drug trafficking already? So these are the following points. Government intelligence agencies are likely aware of trafficking routes, networks, and suspected actors. Concerns exist about weak enforcement and alleged protection by influential individuals. For quite a long time, we've been hearing that there's a drug lord housed in Sierra Leone, and this drug lord, according to information, has a very high connection with top authorities in Sierra Leone. So we've still not heard about that drug lord being expelled out of Sierra Leone yet, but then international organizations are fighting very hard to make sure this drug lord is extradited back to Netherlands. International partners monitor West Africa closely because the region is vulnerable to translational trafficking. Also, Sierra Leone must show transparency and seriousness to maintain international trust. Further questions are these. How much intelligence does government have about trafficking networks? Are there powerful individuals protecting drug traffickers? Why do citizens often believe small people are arrested while big players escape? And what is government doing to prevent Sierra Leone from becoming internationally isolated or blacklisted? Are ports, airports, and borders control strong enough? We keep going. Maintaining Sierra Leone's international credibility. What should we do? The key concerns are these. Drug trafficking damages national reputation. We all know that very, very well. Excuse me. It can affect tourism, investment, international cooperation, and travel opportunities. Foreign governments may increase restrictions on Sierra Leoneans, and international financial institutions may lose confidence in the country. These are the suggestions. The government should strengthen anti-drug laws and enforcement and cooperate closely with international agencies. Government should also improve airport and seaport surveillance systems and publicly prosecute major offenders regardless of their status. Demonstrate zero tolerance for corrupt or corruption linked to trafficking. Again, some more questions. How can Sierra Leone protect its global image? What messages should government send to the international community? And are anti-drug institutions independent enough? Okay, we'll come to another sector, the role of the police and the security forces. Many times we see community members blaming police and the police blaming community members. And we should actually look into those two areas and see whether, in fact, the two parties are conniving with drug trafficking or they are also contributing to that particular act. These are the challenges under the role of the police and the security forces. Allegations of corruption within some security structures, and then limited logistics and equipment for police. Weak investigation and prosecution systems are also factors that are leading to that, and lack of public trust in some operations. Some important points to note. Honest police officers also risk their lives fighting traffickers. Drug trafficking networks are often well funded and dangerous, and law enforcement alone cannot solve the crisis. Again, questions towards that. Are police adequately equipped and trained? Why do some drug cases collapse and never prosecuted? And how can trust between citizens and police improve? Should there be special anti-narcotics courts or units in Sierra Leone? These are questions for the government to ponder about and for the security forces to also ponder about. Next, I'll come to contribution of citizens and communities to the drug problem in Sierra Leone. Community factors. Some landlords knowingly rent spaces to drug dealers. I'll go over that again. Some landlords are knowingly renting places to drug dealers, and some families ignore early warning signs even when their children are affected. Community silence protects criminals, and peer pressure and social media influence youth behaviors too. And then some transport operators unknowingly assist drug trafficking. So these are some of the actions that we expect communities to take. Community reporting systems should be reinforced, stronger parenting and monitoring the children, and then mentorship should also be improved. Religious and traditional leaders should speak openly in their religious institutions. Youth empowerment and sport programs should also be encouraged and reinforced. Neighborhood watch initiatives should also be supported by the government. But then there are questions to ask. Why do communities often remain silent? Are parents paying enough attention to their children? What role should chiefs, imams, pastors, and teachers play? How can communities help rehabilitate addicts instead of stigmatizing them? So, common and social causes of drugs is my next topic to talk about. What are the root causes? There's a lot of concern about youth unemployment, poverty and hopelessness, and then broken homes and lack of guidance, weak educational opportunities across the board, mental health challenges, and lack of facilities for rehabilitation, desire for quick money, and criminal lifestyles are also motivating factors. So this will be some discussion questions that we will always be asking. Is unemployment fueling drug abuse? How can government create alternatives for vulnerable youth? Are rehabilitation centers adequate and affordable? We move on to global impact on Sierra Leoneans abroad. International consequences on Sierra Leoneans. Increased suspicion towards Sierra Leoneans traveling abroad. Damage to the reputation of hardworking Sierra Leoneans globally. And also potential visa restrictions and tighter immigration screening. Diaspora communities facing stigma due to activities of a few criminals. Important discussion points will be this. The action of a small criminal minority can unfairly affect millions of innocent Sierra Leoneans worldwide. And then, how is the drug issue affecting Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora? What role can the diaspora play in preventing and advocating for the attention that they are getting on drug trafficking? How can Sierra Leone rebuild international confidence? These are things we should all as Sierra Leoneans ponder over. Solutions and recommendations. Government actions. Strengthen anti-drug legislation. Invest in rehabilitation and mental health services. Improve border and maritime security. Create youth employment opportunities and ensure independent investigations and prosecutions. Police and judiciary should increase accountability and transparency, fast-track major drug cases, and protect whistleblowers, also improve intelligence sharing system. Community and civil society, their role. Nationwide anti-drug awareness campaigns should be launched. School-based counseling programs should also be launched. And then community rehabilitation support should be reinforced and also empower youth organizations. The media role. Responsible investigative journalism is really critical. Continuous public education should also be reinforced by the media and avoid glorifying criminal lifestyles. In closing, I will first talk to my people. Fambulde Mina David Longbo, at the country owner from Kono News Network. We will look at Sierra Leone today and the drug issue we don't affect we country, both now we country and outside we country internationally. We hear about the cocaine the way then they arrest now other parts of the world, especially this particular one inside Spain, where they say they catch 40 tons of cocaine na the own seaport. And this particular ship here so they say na Salon e comot. How e comot na Sierra Leone where they not check them properly, or if they check them, they not bring any alarm about that particular container there or ship, na a big concern to a country. When they talk to the police force, the security agencies, and everybody will get for do with lawmaking, for strengthening up for reinforce their effort and for double up the efforts then for solve this drug problem, because it really spoil the country and image across the world. If we know say we get drug people then our communities, then we say we dey, you know somebody wey dey sell drug, and or you know a politician wey self involved in that thing, and dey let we call them out, let we bring their names them out, because e very important for let we protect we pikin them wey dey take drug in their early ages. E dey affect their future, e dey affect their education, and it affect with leadership pool in future, because if the pikin dey working for be leaders and tomorrow take into drugs today, e get for affect the country very severely. So I go close with this statement. The drug crisis in Sierra Leone is not just a police issue. It is a national emergency that touches every sector of the society. If we fail to act decisively today, we risk losing an entire generation tomorrow. So, this fight requires courage from government, integrity from law enforcement, responsibility from communities, honesty from political leaders, and commitment from citizens. Sierra Leone cannot afford to be known globally for trafficking, addiction, violence, and hopelessness. Our country must instead be recognized for resilience, accountability, opportunity, and national transformation. The future of Sierra Leone depends on the choices we make now. Silence protects criminals, division weakens solutions, but unity, accountability, and action can save lives and restore confidence in our nation. The fight against drugs is ultimately a fight for the soul, dignity, and future of Sierra Leone. Thank you for joining Kono News Network. And once more, I'll encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. Also, I'll encourage you to um, comment on what I have just said. And if you have any concerns or questions, please ask me in the comment section. From Mina David Bongbo, the canto owner, I want to tell thank you to all Salon Pikin the way they listen to me at this channel. So let we fight for help with country. Let we try for create a very good image for the country, and let we make sure say we protect our images any single day. I want to tell una thank you, everybody. Una thank you, una share, una also like, and also talk to other people then wey go subscribe to my channel. Me na David Gbongbon, I tell una all thank you, una good evening.